What if the room you're sitting in right now looks completely different to your cat? Not just slightly different, but an entirely different version of reality. It may sound hard to believe, but it's true. Cats have the ability to see ultraviolet, UV, light, a part of the light spectrum that the human eye simply cannot detect. 1. Your cat sees a world you'll never see. That means what looks normal to you may appear vivid and full of hidden detail to your cat. The plain white shirt you're wearing could be covered in glowing patterns and marks invisible to you. The flowers outside your window aren't just simple colors, they may shine with UV guides, almost like runway lights, which your cat can clearly see. According to scientific research, a cat's eyes allow UV light to pass through to the retina, while human eyes block most of it. So when your cat sits quietly staring out the window at what seems like a calm, empty yard to you, it could actually be seeing a world filled with movement, light, and traces you're completely unaware of. And this is just the beginning. Once you realize that your cat doesn't see the world the way you do, you start to understand something important. Those strange behaviors you've noticed might actually make perfect sense. 2. Sounds only your cat can hear. Have you ever seen your cat suddenly twitch its ears or turn towards something, even though you couldn't hear anything at all? That's not random. It's because your cat is reacting to a layer of sound that you simply don't have access to. Humans can hear frequencies up to about 20,000 hertzes. Cats, on the other hand, can hear up to around 64,000 hertzes, more than 3 times your range. This means that inside your own home, there's an entire sound world that only your cat can experience. Everyday devices you barely think about, phone chargers, LED lights, TVs on standby, can all produce high-frequency noises. To you, they're completely silent. But to your cat, they may sound like constant, high-pitched buzzing or faint electrical whines. This is also why cats often react before you even notice something is happening. It's not that they can predict the future, they're simply picking up signals earlier than you can. In the wild, this ability gives cats a huge advantage when hunting. Small animals like rodents and insects often produce high-frequency sounds that humans can't hear. But for cats, those sounds are as clear as a detailed audio map, helping them locate movement with incredible precision. So, when your cat suddenly stares at a corner, flicks its ears repeatedly, or chases something that seems completely invisible, it might actually be responding to something very real just beyond your range of perception. You and your cat are living in the same space, but you're hearing 2 completely different versions of the world. 3. Your cat senses the storm before it happens. Have you ever noticed your cat suddenly becoming restless, pacing around, hiding under the bed, or acting uneasy for no obvious reason? And then, not long after, the wind picks up, rain starts falling, or even a storm rolls in. That's not a coincidence. Cats have the ability to detect subtle environmental changes that the human body simply can't pick up. Before a storm arrives, air pressure begins to shift. To you, it's almost impossible to notice. But to your cat, it's a clear signal that something is about to change. It doesn't stop there. A cat's paws are packed with highly sensitive nerve receptors, allowing them to detect tiny vibrations in the ground movements you don't even realize exist. This becomes especially important when it comes to earthquakes. When the earth moves, it releases 2 types of waves: P waves, fast, light, and nearly undetectable, and S waves, stronger and responsible for the shaking you actually feel. Humans typically only notice the S waves. Cats, however, can detect the P waves seconds or even minutes earlier. That's why your cat might suddenly jump up, run away, or search for a hiding spot before you feel anything at all. They're not predicting the future. They're simply sensing the present on a level you can't access. So the next time your cat behaves strangely for no clear reason, don't dismiss it too quickly. It might be reacting to something very real, something your senses just haven't picked up yet. 4. Your cat knows you're coming home before you open the door. Have you ever walked through the door and found your cat already sitting there, staring at you like it's been waiting? No message, no signal, yet somehow it knew you were about to arrive. It may seem strange, but there's actually a clear explanation. Cats don't just hear while they remember and categorize sounds with incredible precision. Over time, your cat learns your entire sound signature. The noise of your vehicle, the way your car door shuts, your footsteps, even the rhythm of how you walk. Every person creates a unique pattern of sounds without realizing it, but your cat notices. It doesn't just hear, it compares, filters, and recognizes. So when you're still at the end of the street, your cat may have already picked up on those familiar cues from a distance. Research in animal behavior also shows that cats can distinguish their owner's voice from that of a stranger, even without visual cues. And if they can recognize your voice that clearly, identifying the full sequence of sounds you make when coming home becomes even easier. That's why cats don't react the same way to every noise. A neighbor's car, a delivery person, or footsteps passing by, none of these hold their attention for long. But when the sound pattern matches you, their response is immediate. So when your cat is already waiting by the door before your hand even touches the handle, it's not intuition. It's a level of sound memory that's surprisingly precise. Your cat is watching things you can't see. Have you ever caught your cat staring intensely at an empty spot in the air, eyes wide, head moving slowly as if tracking something? But no matter how hard you look, you see absolutely nothing? It's one of those behaviors that can feel a little unsettling. But the truth is, your cat isn't imagining things. It's seeing things that are simply too small for your eyes to detect. That could include tiny dust particles floating in the air, extremely small insects like gnats or microflies, subtle shifts in light or barely noticeable air movement. A cat's eyes are built for detecting the slightest motion. They have a higher number of rod cells than humans, allowing them to pick up even the smallest environmental changes. A speck of dust drifting through a beam of light might mean nothing to you, but to your cat, it's a moving target. Here's something even more fascinating. Cats don't see clearly at very close distances. When something gets too close, within about 20-30 centimeters, their vision becomes blurry. And that's when they switch modes. Their whiskers immediately angle forward, acting like a sensory radar system. They even have specialized whiskers on the back of their front legs, carpal whiskers, helping them detect whether something is within reach and under control. In other words, your cat is a long-range motion detector, and when things get close, it switches to touch and scent. If you've ever seen your cat chasing something that isn't there, comment 1 below, because chances are you can't see it. But to your cat, it's completely real. 6. Your cat doesn't just sense the world, it senses you. Have you ever noticed that when you feel sad, tired, or stressed, your cat suddenly comes closer? Sometimes it curls up right next to you. Other times, it Ujimord, stays nearby, quietly present. And the strange part is, you didn't call it. That's not a coincidence. Cats can detect subtle changes happening inside your body, things you may not even be aware of yourself. They can hear shifts in your heartbeat, sense changes in your breathing, and pick up on tiny signals when your body is under stress or anxiety. When you're stressed, your heart rate increases. Your breathing becomes faster and more shallow. Your body produces small changes in sound and movement. All of these, your cat can pick up on. No words needed, no obvious signs required. Your body is sending signals, and your cat is listening. That's why many cats choose to come closer when you're feeling down or exhausted. Some become more affectionate, meow more, or gently reach out to touch you. Others simply lie nearby, quiet, but always present. On the other hand, when you're tense or irritated, your cat may become restless, keep its distance, or change its behavior. Not because it's being distant, but because it's reacting to what it senses from you. You're not just living with your cat, you're being read every single day. And perhaps the most surprising part is this. Your cat understands your emotional state, even before you fully realize it yourself.